Hello curlies, it's Mary and welcome back to the Curly Closet. So today's video is going to be a very detailed twist out tutorial for those of us who are frizz prone, myself included. So if you'd like to see my tips for maximum definition with no frizz, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Also, please stay till the end because my most important tip is coming towards the end. So to start off with, start with damp, wet, clean, condition and detangled hair. Reason being, it just helps that your hair does not have build up on it or of any kind, and your hair will also absorb moisture a lot more easily. Now, in terms of detangling, you can use any comb or brush that you choose, but I personally prefer detangling brushes for detangling just because the bristles are closer together and it helps to give a lot more of a smooth result. So when I detangle my hair, I do section it off in large twists. It just makes everything a lot easier to manage. My hair doesn't tangle back up, and then it provides a foundation for what I'm going to do next. So starting off, I've used this As I Am leave-in conditioner. You don't have to use the same products as me, but I do recommend using a leave-in conditioner. I'll explain why in a bit. But first of all, I'm just dampening my hair. Of course, having wet hair for my hair type, texture and porosity, I am medium to high porosity. It just helps me to make my hair a lot more malleable, and of course it helps to just have a base layer of hydration to my hair, and hydration is what's going to make your twist out pop. Here you can see I'm adding the leave-in. The leave-in helps to combine well with whatever twisting product you're going to use, and of course it just adds more moisture and hydration. And if you notice, I do actually split this section in the middle and make sure I work it into the middle, because sis, you don't want your hair product to just be sitting on top of your hair and not going through to every strand. Your twist out is not going to turn out great in that regard. Right, so now I'm adding this twist defining cream again from As I Am, but you can use any product that you like, but it has to be a product that combines moisture and hold. Your twist out is going to look good if it has moisture in it, but it also needs to have some kind of slight holding product. Some people prefer to use gel, some use twisting cream, some use butters. I personally prefer butters or creams. That's just what works well for me. What works well for you, sis. So now I'm just showing you here, when my hair clumps all together like this is a very good sign. It means that my hair is moisturized and defined, and my twist out is going to be lovely. So I do use the LCO method in order to prepare my hair for twist outs. I put an oil on top just because it seals everything in and just adds a beautiful level of smoothness. Now, this step here is very important. You want to use your detangling brush and brush the products through. Number one, it adds smoothness. Number two, it makes sure that all of the products is really going through every single strand. No strand left behind. Your products are not really gonna go into your hair as well as they could if you don't really brush them through. Brushing them through just makes sure that your hair comes out with a really smooth result. Trust me, I've tried it both ways and it works better this way. So I take my larger twist and I split it into 2 or 3 smaller ones. It depends on what size you want to do, but this is the size that I personally prefer, and I like to make sure that the 2 strands are the same size as each other. This is very important for the takedown later on. If they're uneven, then you're gonna have to borrow from other sections and it ends up looking a bit choppy, and yeah, just not cute, sis, not cute. Now here I'm beginning to do my 2-strand twists. I'm not going to go into detail as to how to do those. I do have a full tutorial on how to do 2-strand twists. You can hit the cards if you would like to see how to do that. But I personally just prefer to do slightly smaller twists because they just end up being more defined. You can do any size that you like. Now, another thing that's also very important, I like to make sure that I twist to the very end as much as possible, and then I just give the ends of my hair a little twirl just for a smoother result. And also you can feel if your ends are dry and it just needs a bit more moisture. So what you want to have is a juicy, shiny, moisturized twist. If you want your twist out to be nice, then of course your twists also have to be juicy, moisturized, and have a good amount of product in. for the sake of having a really lovely result. So you can see for this section, I am just repeating the same step over again. Don't be afraid to use a good amount of product. I know that for my hair, having a decent amount of product on my hair on each strand is very important. Now I've added this here that, you know, having a bit of product residue is not a bad thing when my hair is wet. It just means that my hair is saturated with product, and then of course it's got a lot of moisture sitting in it. Again, if I've had twists that are just not quite moisturized enough, when my hair gets to the stage of being dry, it just doesn't turn out so great. Now, I have watched quite a few twist out tutorials in my time. Some people start from the front, some people start from the back. It depends on how thick your hair is, it depends on how you prefer to style your hair. Personally, I like to start from the back. It just makes everything easier to manage for me. I like to get the back out of the way because I'm not always as fussed about the back as I am about the front. And also then I can kind of go to the front and make my hair lay whichever way I want to without anything getting in the way. It's easier than the other way around for me. I am speeding through the process here just so you can see how I do the same thing on other sections of my hair. But once I've gotten that method down, essentially it's the same thing repeated all the way from the back towards the front. I would recommend that you do this at a time when you have a decent amount of time on your hands, because whenever I've rushed my twist outs, they never turn out great. Whereas when I do really take my time, chill, watch a TV show, catch up on, you know, something that I really wanted to watch and just do my twists, it ends up being way better. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I love to do in-depth detailed tutorials like this. So hit the red subscribe button below, hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified whenever I upload new videos. So this is how my hair's looking. I do make my hair, my twist, a bit larger to the back and a bit smaller to the front. I just prefer the front of my hair to be a bit more defined, but again, do you sis, whatever works for you. And of course I try not to forget the other sections of my hair. Yes, I have an undercut, so I've styled it to the side. And then I leave my hair to dry. Now, I do actually use my slap cap or a headscarf if I'm going out, and I always sleep in my headscarf.
48 hours later.
And yes, it does say 48 hours later. Reason being, I do prefer my hair to dry over 2 days. Just for me personally, if I try to take my twist down within 1 day, they're not 100% dry and it just doesn't turn out so great. And if I leave it for about 3 or 4 days, somehow they just end up not being great either, just a little bit too frizzy. So yeah, here I have laid my edges. You don't have to do all of that if you don't want to, but I've also added some oil to the ends. That is important, just to add some shine, and I just kind of stretch my twists out a bit just in preparation for the takedown process. So let's go. Now I do tie my hair up and out of the way before I start taking my twist down, just because it just keeps them out of the way. Yes, I was watching Lovely Tea. Clearly something happened that was shocking. Any fellow Lovely Tea fans, comment below and let me know if you watch Lovely Tea just like me. So I take the twist down by pulling the 2 strands apart. It's very simple, and this is the reason why when I do my twists, I try to make sure both sections are about the same size. It just makes the takedown process way easier, very quick. As you can see, all I literally do is just pull the 2 of them apart. There's nothing borrowed from either side, so it doesn't tangle. It's very simple, quick and easy, and you're starting to see how much bounce my hair has. That is a combination of combing the products through well, the products themselves, and just taking my time over the twists, and of course allowing my twists to dry, because if your twist out is wet, it can be a disaster. I have slowed down here just so you can see how easily the twists unravel once you pull them apart. I actually start from the middle and not the ends, and you can see the amount of bounce that is in each individual section. I love this method for doing my twist outs, and trust me, it's taken me a while to get to this point. So if your twist outs are not turning out great, it's fine. Just keep practicing, tweak it a bit, try something new, try something different until you get a method that works for you. This is what works for me. Now, my number one tip is coming up right now. Do not separate. Now, I know there are so many tutorials around that say, oh, it's fine, just put a bit of oil on your hands, whatever, when you separate it won't add frizz. It always adds frizz to my hair to separate, so I just don't do it. And these are my results. You can see how much definition I have. There is absolutely no frizz, and this is the reason why I don't try to separate them, and my results are a bouncy, defined, moisturized and shiny twist out with no frizz. That's my secret weapon, as it were. If you feel like the sections are a bit too big, you can start off by making your twist a lot smaller, but I do not recommend separating unless you just want a fluffy twist out. And there's nothing wrong with frizz, there's nothing wrong with a fluffy twist out, but if you are looking for maximum definition, then this is the method that I would recommend for you. So I'm just leaving you with some slow-mo so you can see how the hair looks close up and defined. If you did enjoy this video, then please share this video with a friend, especially someone that you know wants to improve their twist outs. And I'll see you again soon in the next tutorial. Wishing you health, happiness and beautiful hair. I'll see you again soon on the Curly Closet. Take care. Bye.